And welcome back to the Survive Scale Soar channel, where we put up fresh videos each week to help you soar both in business and in life. The video this week, we're going to talk about time. We're going to talk about how to utilize your time, how to maximize your efforts within that time so that you can have a great 2024. So today is a real talk, and I want to talk about time, especially this time of year. I work about 80% of my business is with real estate agents. The other 20% are with small business owners. And I'm going to just pick on the real estate industry for my example in this is that a lot of them will tend to take off between October 31st, which is Halloween, and they typically come out of hibernation around January 1st. And, part of that's for a couple different reasons. One is they buy into the fact that the market might not be as busy. And that's actually a lie. Some of my best months when I was in production and running offices was in November and December. There's plenty of business to be had out there. Lots of people making decisions. The other reason is that there's typically a lot of activities that happen this time of year. You have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you have New Year. And so those things too, with all the events that come around that, family coming into town or you going out of town and traveling, there's a tendency to pop the brake at this time of year. Now, what I'm going to encourage you is not to do that. And I want to talk about time in the fact that we only have a finite amount of time, yet we all have the same amount of time in a day. Nobody else has more time than you. Yes, they may be leveraged, but they still have the same amount of time. So what drives me crazy is when I talk to individuals and they say, Jeremy, I just don't have enough time. One of the first things I'm going to ask is, are you operating from a calendar? Do you have a schedule that you follow every day? And more often than not, I get, yes, I have a calendar, but I don't really follow it. Or no, I haven't put a calendar together. Yet it's a decision that they've made not to honor their time. Now, I can't change that for them as a coach. Their family members can't change that for them. Another colleague can't help them with that. When it comes down to managing your time, it is solely 100% on you and the decisions that you make. Time is finite. We all have the same amount of time. What's the difference between somebody that's highly successful and not? It's how they use their time. So I want to go through a short formula with you. I don't want to take 100% credit on this because it was shared with me by a coach by the name of Chad Himes, a good friend of mine even today. But I want to take you through a quick formula that's going to help you set the tone for the rest of this year to finish strong, because there's still time to finish strong, and also to prepare you for 2024. So if you have a piece of paper, get it out and take some notes. If you don't, you're driving in your car and you're listening to this podcast, go back and listen to it. And I encourage you to sit down and take some notes. This is really going to be a game changer for you and your business. So the first two things you're going to put on your calendar, and I ask this all the time, especially my real estate agents, I'm going to pick on them again. What do you put on your calendar first? And they're always going to say lead generation. It's been programmed into them. A lot of companies, that's all they talk about is lead gen. Yet that's not the right answer. The first thing you're going to put on your calendar is your bedtime. The second thing you're going to put on your calendar is the time that you wake up. Why is that? Because we've got to be rested. We have to get in the sleep that takes care of our body so that we can be energized to do the things necessary to be successful in our businesses. So what time do you go to bed? What time do you wake up? And I can't answer that for you. Again, this is a decision you have to make. For some people, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, that's all they need of sleep to be highly functional the next day. I'm a 7.5 hours, 8-hour guy. Like if I get 6 hours, 5 hours, I'm going to operate like trash the next day. It's going to take multiple cups of coffee to keep me going. So figure out how many hours you need to sleep, put it on your calendar, and then follow it. I know in the past I stayed up to watch movies. I love watching movies. I'd watch them at night. And the next thing I'd know is it's 12 o'clock in the morning and I've got to be up at 6. That was a habit I needed to change. And so by following my schedule, I created a new habit not to do that anymore. And guess what? It paid off. I felt better the next day. I got the rest I needed. Next, I would put some sort of morning routine together, something that's familiar that you could start your day with every day. It could be getting up and working out, taking a shower afterwards, eating breakfast, reading some scripture, meditating, praying, maybe making a call to a family member. Whatever that morning routine is, drink a cup of coffee and do my Wordle. That's one of my morning routines, just to start my day off. It's something that's comfortable. It's something that happens every single day and just gets me started, gets the engine going. The next thing you're going to put on your calendar is all your rocks. Now, these are things that you could schedule far out into the future, 6 months to a year. These are going to be things that you've got to either participate in or you're going to an event, things that aren't going to change. Like if it's a big event for your company, they're not going to call you and say, hey, Jeremy, would this date be good for you? We just want to make sure before we put it out there. No, it's going to be on a specific date. You really have no control over that. For my coaching clients, I tell them they better make their coaching appointments a rock. It's the same time every week, the same 30 minutes. That's not going to change. So plan around that. It's a rock. Doctor's appointments, if you're looking at it from a personal perspective. Vacations, plan your vacations. Give yourself something to look forward to work towards. Right? Events, trainings, meetings, the things that you cannot control, those go on your calendar next. Then after that, use an acronym of L.I.F.E. And this is the genius of Chad Himes. L.I.F.E stands for love, improvement, fitness and nutrition, economic, and economic being business. And you're going to put those things in that order on your calendar. So love, those are the relationships you have. If you have kids, scheduling out their events, putting them there so you can be there, you can be present. Date night, dinner. I go to dinner with my wife every Friday, most part, every Friday at noon. It's on the calendar. Those relationships that you want to foster, create the time for that. If you don't, you're never going to do it. Love, those relationships, they're important. Because at the end of the day, you could have a successful business, but have nobody to share it with because you put so much time and emphasis on the business that you forgot to put an emphasis on their lives. Improvement, 15 to 20 minutes every day. Improvement could be reading a book. It could be watching a YouTube video on a particular subject, but something that stretches the way that you think every single day. 15 to 20 minutes of that. Fitness and nutrition. Schedule in the time that you're going to eat your meals, especially for my salespeople or all business owners. They get so wrapped up in their day, they look up and they realize, I haven't eaten breakfast, I haven't eaten lunch. And when that happens, then bad choices tend to happen. I'll stop by and I'll pick up some fast food. So when are you eating your meals? What are you eating for those meals? When are you going to the gym? Are you doing body weight exercises at home? Are you going for a walk? Whatever that is, fitness and nutrition is important. Should be on your schedule and it should be happening every single day. Just like sleep, having the right fitness and nutrition routine is going to give you longevity in the business. It's going to give you the energy you need to push through the activities that are required of being a small business owner. It'll give you longevity in the number of years that you can work. And people can also feel that energy as well. So you've got to put those things on your calendar every single day. And then finally, economic being your business. So these are the activities from your business plan that you put on your calendar that drive your business. The things that must happen every single day in order for you to be a prosperous business. And so that requires having a plan. So build a business plan, take those activities that are taking place inside of that plan, put them on your calendar. Those activities require time. And what this will also do for you is when you start filling up your calendar, you're going to realize I either don't have enough activities or I have too many. And I'm going to need to go pare some of it back. It's really important that you do this. It gives you a visual perspective on what each day of your business should look like. Now, with these activities, everything outside of rocks that's included in the acronym L.I.F.E, any of those things, I would not plan out further than 1 to 2 weeks because things can change, life can happen, things will have to be moved around. We typically know in a 1 to 2 week period the things that will be happening. If we start broadcasting this out to 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you're going to be changing your calendar all the time. So the rocks, 6 to 12 months in advance. Everything else, I'd recommend sticking to a week or two in advance. If you do these things, you have a plan, you execute everything onto your calendar, really good things are going to happen for you moving forward as we go into 2024. Following a schedule is most often the thing that moves the needle for the people that I coach. Those that don't follow the schedule, I can tell. I can tell the chaos that's taking place, not being purposeful, not being intentional in their activities, not being consistent. And I can see that. And then I can see a week or two later in our conversations, when they get back onto their calendar, I can see the improvement. I see the successes that come from that. Time is finite. Time is a choice. And how you use it is going to make the difference for you, whether you're going to succeed to the greatest heights, be mediocre, and just kind of kick the can down the road and survive, or it could mean the possibility of you getting out of business, which I don't want for you. And so I want today, if this is tapped into your soul and you've heard this message, take the time, commit the time now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week or say, hey, I'm going to get it done by the end of the year. I want you today to sit down and commit the time to building out your schedule for the next week or two. Don't worry about the rocks. The rocks will come, but schedule out the next week or two. And that may include spending time away from your business. That may mean time going and traveling on a vacation. Like I said, we got Christmas coming up. We just wrapped Thanksgiving. We have New Year's coming up. So I know those things are happening. Yet honor that time that you're not with family. Honor that time you should be working on your business. When you do that, and when you honor that schedule, I promise you the needle will move and great things will happen for both you and your business. If this message helped you today, or you think somebody else needs to hear this message, one of your colleagues, maybe it's a personal friend of yours, share this episode with them. They need to hear this. You need to hear this. It's important to all of us. If I could ever help, I want you to reach out to me. Make sure you visit my website, www.redhawkcoaching.com. Again, www.redhawkcoaching.com, or call me at 281-387-7689. That's my direct number. You'll get me. And let's have a conversation about what your schedule should look like, and maybe even how I can help you as a coach going into 2024. Have a great day. Until next time, onward and upward.